Podcasting from her kitchen table, it's Jacqueline J. Here with another episode of Cast Iron Skillet Chronicles, where we focus on faith, family, fun, and finance for my fierce, fly, and fabulous sisters over 40. Come on in the kitchen. Coffee's brewing. Pull up a chair and girl, let's talk. Now, here is your host for Cast Iron Skillet Chronicles, Jacqueline J. Hey family, come on back in the kitchen for the rest of our conversation with Grace Ann Johnson.
I dropped everything that night and I jumped on the Metro North heading from the city. Mm-hmm. And while I was on the train, Jacqueline, tears flowed, tears. I cried so much. Whoever saw me on the train they must have known because it was hard to hide. Yeah. You know, it was my heart ripped apart. I couldn't say anything when he asked me that question. Mm-hmm. And so when I got home, all I could do was hug him so tightly. By that time, he was 6 and my youngest was 3. Mm-hmm. I could just hug them so tightly. And then I promised, I said, it will change. It will change. Right? Yeah. I then made a decision 2 weeks later to take a year off. Mm. And I took a year off. Okay. And I said, it doesn't matter how it's going to happen, what's going to happen. I just made a decision. Hey, here's my resignation letter. In 2 weeks, I'll be done. And I took a year off. It was one of the best years that I've ever had as a mom, as a wife, as a person, whatever. It was one of the best years of my life. And wow. So I went back to work about a year later. And I set boundaries, right? So I told myself, there's no way I'm going to be working relentless hours. There's no way. I'm not taking home work. I set boundaries. But still, this last job, it pulled me out of that. And so God brought me back. Mm. He said, I showed this to you. He said, Grace, I showed this to you a while ago. But because I neglected to plan, right? 6 years ago, I neglected to plan. I wasn't sure where I was going, what I was going to do. I was just enjoying my boys. And I really didn't think about any of that, right? Right. So now, last year, when God said to me, you need to move. You need to stop playing. This is not where you're needed to be. Mm. Right? Stop sacrificing the things that really matter for the things that don't really matter. Exactly. When he said that to me, I was like, okay, all right, I hear you. All right, how do I do this? How do I do this? And he said, plan. You do this for the job all the time, right? You set plans in motion, you do budgets, you do this, you do that. Plan. Right? And write your vision and make it plain. Mm-hmm. Right? Yes. And so that's what I did. I planned and I talked to my husband and I talked to the kids and we started saving money, putting away in a time where everyone was, worried, where's money? I already had a job, but this job was stretching me so thin. I couldn't do anything else with a job. And some people would say, but why didn't you start your company without leaving the job? There are just some jobs that you can't do anything but doing their job. Amen. Amen. You can't do anything. But I was working sometimes from 7 a.m., depending on the demand from corporate or ownership or the, whoever you're working with. There was so many demands. It was such a huge challenge to do anything else. Sometimes it was hard to even think. I would wake up, do the work, then go to sleep. I was so miserable. I was frustrated. I was irritated. And then to make matters worse, I wasn't even doing what I was most passionate about.
Right. Exactly. There you go. That passion. Absolutely. And the passion and not being obedient and listening to what it was that God told you to do. So talk to us about that transition. So you started this planning. Now, did you do the traditional 2-week notice, or because you had already made this decision, did you give them notice prior to that and then continue working this plan until it was time to actually cut the cord and step out and heed the voice of God?
So I kept on working the plan, right? And I gave them the traditional 2 weeks notice at the time.
Okay.
When I was really close with my director of my general manager, right? Mm-hmm. So when I told him, hey, I'm about to resign back in November, he goes, please, no, please don't do it. And so we talked and he said, this is a key thing. He said, how about you wait until you get your bonus before? Then bonus time is beginning of February. At least you'll have that money to kind of cushion you. And, you it's only a few weeks. You just have to bear it and grin for a few weeks.
Right.
Okay, November. And I said, okay, I'll try. I tried. I honestly tried. I did. And 1 week passed. And then the next thing I know, I went from 2 hotels to now having to deal with 3 hotels.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, see.
No, you see, no. See, this is God saying to me.
Exactly.
Oh, you are not listening.
You are not being obedient.
Let me give you another twist. Let me just add some more to you.
No.
You are being disobedient. And I said, but God, this is the plan. This is the plan. I'm going to resign in February.
Like, no, that may be your plan, but that's not the plan I told you.
No, it wasn't. And so I was just like, whoa. So one morning he woke me up and he said, what? Do you not believe in miracles? Do you not believe in me? All this time I've been carrying you. You've never, these years, you haven't had to, beg for bread or scrounge. I've always been carrying you. And then he reminded me of all the times he came through for me, all the times when I didn't know. Remember, I said I have a degree in sociology and administrative assistant. So all the time when I needed clarity and I needed direction and guidance, in analyzing a report or figuring out and reconciling and all that stuff, he showed me all that time when I came through for you. Now you're a shining star for these people, and I want you to come over here and shine. What are you doing? What are you doing? So he woke me up and I said, okay, God, okay, sorry. And can I say something? When you tell those who you're around, when you tell them of your plan, just be very careful that their response is not what's going to sway you.
Yes. Say that again.
For the
folks that are on the other side of the kitchen.
Yes. Just be very careful that your plan is what you came up with, not what other people think and what you should do and what they come up with, and then you can stick with it. Exactly. I came up with the statement. You know how people are always saying, never leave a job without another job.
Yes.
No. Exactly. I want us to change. I want us to change that. Do not leave a job without a plan of action.
There you go.
Okay. So, and it's written in my book, Transition to Freedom. Do not leave a job without a plan of action. When you have a plan of what you're going to do and how you're going to attack it, you will succeed. Just remain focused. Be like the hedgehog, where the hedgehog only know one way of defending himself. It's to curl up in a ball and allow its prickles to defend him. When the fox is coming after him, like it says in whatever book that is, the fox is coming after him, and the fox knows 50 ways of how to attack, but none of which are getting through to the hedgehog, because his one defense mode is to curl up in a ball and allow the pines, the prickles to come up and defend him.
Yes.
Be like that hedgehog where this is your focus and go after it. Go after it. Go after that plan. Focus and determination. Be disciplined and go after it. That's my saying now. Not that you're going to, because I tried, Jacqueline, when I was getting scared, when God said, do you not listen to me? Are you not listening to me? And I tried to wait until February.
Right.
Someone said to me, why don't you get a job before you leave this job?
And your response was?
I tried to get a job. I was timid. And this is why I can say to you, don't get detoured. Don't get distracted. Because I went ahead, and in fact, I didn't even go looking for a job. The recruiter came to me. The recruiter came to me and he said, hey, we're looking for someone. You seem great, da-da-da-da. And I went through 4 rounds of interview. And in every single round, I was like, Grace, what are you doing? What are you doing? They were going to create the role as CFO for me at this hotel. It's a boutique hotel. And they loved me. It was great. Connections with all of them. All of them. They were, I was going to finalize the position. As they called me to say, okay, Grace, you have the job. And I know this because the recruiter already told me. Because he's talking with them behind the scenes.
Right.
And I said as they called me, I said, you know what? I am so sorry. I need to rescind my application, and I need to apologize because I did not mean to waste your time. There is no way that I can take this job.
Wow.
Yeah. It took a lot of courage. It took a lot of guts. It took faith. And it took believing that I'm enough for what I was about to do.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
What I'm about to do. Because I knew that what I'm about to do was so risky, right? Me starting my own company, coaching women, going out there and writing, going out there and speaking. I knew that it was going to take some work. I knew that money is not going to flow as how it used to flow when in this job. I knew that. And so that little bit of fear stepped in it for a tad minute, and then I went along with it. And at the end, I had to eat humble pie and say, I am sorry. Because yet again, in my soul, I knew that had I gone through with this, all I would be doing is going there, still getting irritated, still getting frustrated. It was not my purpose. It's not my passion. And so I would not be in alignment with what I would be doing. Exactly. What I needed to do was start my company, go ahead and help the women who I'm purposed to help, and helping them to understand that they are enough. That's what I was supposed to be doing. And so I was just like, Grace, you know what was funny? The owner, the GM and the owner, they have an organization for girls similar to what I want to be doing, similar to who I'm supposed to be helping. And so some reason we got into talking to that about it on the interview. What? I'm like, and I'm telling them all about, Grace is enough is going to be da-da-da-da. And I hope you don't mind because I really want to see this through, is what I'm saying to the people on the interview.
Right.
And so that final interview, I'm driving home and I said, Grace, stop it. stop it. And I started believing in me. I started believing in me. And so when I submit that resignation letter, I knew full force, right? That Grace, this is what you're going to be doing. This is all you're going to be doing. Settle with it. Get comfortable with it. It's okay. You're going to be all right. You're going to be all right. And so I worked the plan, the 9 steps that I said, bit by bit. I pulled my family in on it. I pulled my husband in on it. We talked together. We managed the plan together. And then now it's been 5 months. Ending of 3 months. And it feels amazing. It feels amazing. Clients are being dropped from the sky in my life. There's referrals after referrals, and God is just doing his thing only because I made a decision to be obedient to him, believe in myself, and just keep on going, not looking back.
Amen. Amen. So if you would please tell our guests, what do you do, or how do you walk them through the 9 steps? And in addition to that, how can they go about working with you if someone out there finds themselves in a similar situation and is, for whatever reason, unable to extract themselves, or maybe they've already left their previous position, but they don't have a clear cut roadmap or plan, as you mentioned, in order to move forward to be able to manifest their vision?
Amazing. Thank you. The book doesn't come out until, end of May. But in the meantime, you can always find me as graceisenough.co, graceisenough.co, right? And what's where I take my clients through the journey of gaining their enoughness mindset, walking boldly, or planning with confidence, and then transition into freedom. If they may not need all parts of that, right? They, as you said, they may have already transitioned, or they don't have, they've left, or they got furloughed or laid off, Exactly. And what I want to say to that is, just because this is not your end. This is not your end. It may be the beginning of something great, something amazing, as opposed to sitting and waiting for things to, open up, or tap into your gifts, your talents, your skills, and use them. What is it that you've always wanted to do for so long, and you've just been pushing it to the side? What is it that you dreamt about as a child, right? And you were like, no, I can't do it. What are those things? What are those dreams that you had? I have always dreamt about helping women. I always did. Even when I was in corporate America, I would always find myself coaching or mentoring some junior manager. Always. They titled me the professor, right? Or the counselor. You want some help? Go to Grace. You want to be thoroughly taught how to do something? Go to Grace, right? And so in the program, there are 2 levels to my program. I call it the Enoughness program, right?
Okay.
The Enoughness Academy. And so I take them through a journey of, 1, identifying their dreams, their goals. What are those? They may have been lost, right? Or you may have been sitting on them for so long. I want to help you uncover them, unearth them. I want to help you tap into your gifts, your talents, your skills, right? And if you're not sure of what your purpose is, don't worry. We go through identifying what that is. We identify what your core values are, align them with your purpose, and then what are you passionate about? That's the vehicle that you use to carry out your purpose. That is it, right? And then we go ahead and take action. All of those things, we work on your mindset, shifting that mindset. Because oftentimes all we can see is what we're used to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
what's right in front of us.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And if someone in our family or someone in our surroundings has never done it before, we're going to be of the same limited beliefs.
Exactly.
And
that
so
happens too often.
Way too often. Way too often, if you ask me. You know, when I told those that were close to me, hey, this is what I'm going to do, they're like, are you sure? Are you sure? And they know me. I don't mind going out on a limb, right? I don't mind trying new things. And so I said, why not? But you know what other proof I had? Remember, I said I had like 13 siblings, 12 siblings. My brothers, majority of them are entrepreneurs.
It's That's just helpful. That having when you have at least close family members that at least have that mindset, that is helpful. If all of the people that are surrounding you or your close family members are not of that mindset and all they know is 9 to 5 and all they know is corporate America or all they know is, punching a clock, it's hard for them to see your vision of doing something different.
Agree. And so with some of the women that I was around, they couldn't see that. Mm-hmm. Because they've been trained so long, going to school, mm-hmm. going to work. They've been trained so long. You get education to go work for someone, yes, right? Exactly. You're trained to work for someone. Mm-hmm. My mom, she was a seamstress. She worked for the politicians only to better the community. And then when she came here, she was a home health aide. But she never one day, she always said, Grace, you are going to college. Make use of it. What did that mean for me? At my earlier age, I thought, go work, and make money, while the money that you're making is still going towards bills, right? And more bills. And the more you make, the more bills you gather. As opposed to changing the method and saving some of that money. I had to change my mindset as it pertains to my relationship with money. I had to change my mindset as it pertains to the woman in my family and doing more, right? Mm-hmm. I had to begin to see myself higher than where I was currently.
Yes.
And it took me finding friends in other places. Mm-hmm. It took me going to my brothers and having conversations that we've never had. Yeah. It took me doing some things that were out of the norm, right? Mm-hmm. It took me investing in myself.
Right. Yes, that's critical as well. Absolutely.
Yeah. Listen, I've coached people in corporate America, but I've never coached. I have a process. I just knew that I wanted to help women, and whether it be speaking, coaching, all that, I knew that I had something to tell them, and God had me on a mission. And so I needed to know the best way to carry that out. Mm-hmm. And so when I met someone who could help me with that, I was like, yeah, okay. I had to invest in me.
Yes.
If I wanted it, I had to invest in me. And so now, although I give away sponsorship and I say, hey, you don't have it? Okay, come. But not all the time, right? Mm-hmm. I can do that. Right. However, I because I want to help so much, I want to help so badly, I'm like, let me help you. I want to help you. So if you're willing to take the help, I want to help you. Right? And for those who can pay for it, then we charge, right? And so that's what we're doing now at Grace is Enough. I take women from what is your goal? What do you want? To, by the 90 days is finished, after we're done in 90 days, you at least have started on some of those things that you saw yourself doing years ago, months ago, days ago, and working towards it happening.
That is amazing and phenomenal. I am just so grateful that you have taken the time to come and sit and chat with us in the kitchen. This has been an excellent conversation, and I would love to continue it again at some other point, because we definitely have to come back and talk about your book. We definitely have to come back and talk about your book, and you have to definitely give us those tidbits and spill the beans on getting that plan done so that we can move forward. But again, something else that you said in terms of that mindset, that's where it starts. Again, one of the scriptures that I stand on is Romans 12:2. Be ye not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. And that's where it all starts, in the mind, before we can even take our feet to move forward and do what it is that God has called us to do. So Grace Ann Johnson, thank you so very much for joining me in the kitchen. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. We will definitely have you back.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you bringing me on and allowing me to share this space with you at the kitchen table. And I am just loving the bantering that we have going back and forth. This is great. And I look forward to coming back another time. Listen, whatever I can do to help, I want to help you. There's free consultation, so you can feel free to tap me and say, hey, Grace, what do you think I will need? If you tap me on Instagram, Grace is enough, I'll still help you. But one of the things my Facebook page, Enoughness Ladies, right? Grace is Enough. And then the special group, the private group is Enoughness Ladies, is where I spill the beans. I spill beans. Beans on top of beans. I give steps on top of steps. At least 2-3 times a week, I'm sending out steps on how to change your mindset, how to build better habits, how to walk in boldness, and all of that. So definitely, Grace is Enough is the Facebook group, and Enoughness Ladies is the private group where you get the beans spilled.
Excellent. Thank you so very much. Again, we appreciate your time. We appreciate you coming and hanging out in the kitchen for a little bit, and we'll definitely be chatting again. Until next time, take care, stay safe, be well, be kind to each other, and be kind to yourself. Bye now.